Oi, tudo bem? Eu sou Luciana, da Street Smart Brazil, and today I'm gonna teach you 4 different ways to ask where is in Portuguese. You've probably already heard the word cadê. Maybe you were running late and your date called you and asked, Cadê você? Or your spouse could not find her glasses and wondered out loud, Cadê meus óculos? Although most books will teach you how to use onde to ask where is, in Brazil, cadê is a perfectly valid option, especially in spoken Portuguese. In this lesson, I'm gonna tell you about 4 ways in which you can ask where is in Portuguese. You're gonna learn how to use cadê, onde está, onde é, onde fica. And if you're wondering about aonde, no, it's not the same thing as onde. I do have a lesson on my blog about the difference between aonde and onde, so click there and save that lesson for later. Let's start with cadê. We use cadê to ask about the temporary location of people, animals, or objects. Basically things that move or can be moved, things that are not fixed somewhere. Usually when we use cadê, we're looking for something. So let's see some examples. Cadê você? This is what I had in the opening, right? Cadê você? And on the blog post, I have all the translations as well. So click where it says visit blog post or get the link in the video description. This was another example from the opening of the lesson. Cadê meus óculos? Cadê meus óculos? I tend to put meus óculos together because one end is in S, the other one begins with a vowel, so we tend to put that together. Meus óculos. Cadê o gato? Cadê o gato? Did you notice that cadê does not take a verb after it? When you use onde, you need to conjugate the verb in the singular or plural according to the object of the sentence. But with cadê, there is no mystery. It does not take a verb. And you've probably already seen this on Facebook or on text messages. This is how we abbreviate cadê, because that's how the letters K and D sound in Portuguese. Cadê? Okay, now let's see onde está. We use onde está to ask about the location of people, animals, or objects. So you see it's the same use as cadê. We do that when we're looking for something or someone. So basically cadê and onde está, they mean the same thing. You can use one or the other. Cadê is considered a little more informal, but it really is predominant in spoken Portuguese today. So let's see a few examples. Onde está o meu carro? Onde está o meu carro? And now I have to conjugate the verb, right? So if I have carros in the plural, the verb now is estão. Onde estão os carros? Onde estão os carros? This is what this guy is gonna be asking later when he gets home. Onde está a minha carteira? Onde está a minha carteira? Onde estão meus óculos? Onde estão meus óculos? And now let's see onde é. We use onde é to ask about the permanent location of places and buildings or where an activity takes place. And I don't mean permanent as forever and ever and ever. A restaurant can change location, right? But it's not something that happens all the time. I can't just move it all the time, or it doesn't move itself. So basically, it's when you use the verb ser instead of estar, you use onde é. Here's an example. Onde é o banheiro? Onde é o banheiro? And I do have a travel Portuguese lesson with 31 useful phrases, so click on that link and save that for later. Onde é o restaurante? Onde é o restaurante? Onde são suas aulas? Here you see the verb in the plural because the object is plural. Onde são suas aulas? So the difference between onde é and onde está relates to the difference between the verbs ser and está. And yes, I know it is confusing if you don't come from another Romance language. It takes time and practice to use these two verbs correctly, and that's just fine. Now let's see onde fica. You can think about onde fica as where is or where are located. And I don't mean located right now or for the next few moments. I mean where its usual location is. And I'll show you examples. Onde fica o banheiro? So I showed you the same example using onde é. I can also use onde fica. Onde fica o banheiro? Onde fica a farmácia mais próxima? Onde fica a farmácia mais próxima? Onde fica o restaurante? Onde fica o restaurante? I wanted to give this example because I see some people teaching that you use onde fica to ask about the permanent location of places and buildings. But it's not always the case. Imagine this situation. You have friends over for dinner and movies. You are all in the living room and one of your friends heads to the kitchen to get a plate. She doesn't know where you keep your plates, so she asks, onde ficam os pratos? It's the same as asking, where are the plates located or where do you keep the plates? So I'll read this one again. Onde ficam os pratos? Great! So remember to get my Travel Portuguese lesson. You will easily learn 31 Travel Portuguese phrases and questions that will be useful whether you're traveling to Brazil for business or pleasure. When you visit this link, you will be able to download a handout with all these phrases and their translations in English, and also the link to the video lesson so you learn how to pronounce everything correctly. Now I want you to imagine how wonderful it will be when you can speak Portuguese comfortably with your friends, family, and co-workers. Imagine how much better it will be to explore Brazil speaking the language with confidence. Apps and videos will not get you there. To speak comfortably, there's nothing as powerful as a trained instructor to help you achieve your goals. So click on the green button to book a trial lesson with us to see for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Muito obrigada. Tchau, tchau.